Hello fellow music nuts, it's me, Cubby, with another personal spin, and today I am ranking Annihilator's studio albums. Annihilator are a Canadian thrash metal band who have gone on to release a heck of a lot of albums. A lot of them are really good. There's a few slightly iffy ones. To be fair though, they were normally made when there was a lot of turmoil for Jeff Waters, the guitarist and main Annihilator dude. I mean, he kind of is Annihilator. I'd also like to just say that excuse me, my rankings as always are pretty fluid, and day to day they might change, but this is how I feel right now. Let's get started. Starting up, we have Refresh the Demon, which was released in 1996. It's got a few good songs. It's not an entire disaster, but this was made when the whole band had pretty much left Jeff. I don't know the exact circumstances, but from my understanding it kind of fell apart for whatever reason, and it's got electronic drums. That's not the reason I don't like it, although it doesn't help, because electronic drums in 1996 weren't the best in the world. It just feels very sort of, what's the word, not underdeveloped, but you can tell that Jeff Waters was having problems, or was coming off of having problems. Does that make sense? And basically he's released better. That's what it boils down to. It's not horrendous, but he's released better. Next we have a 1997's Annihilator. This is called Remains. Sorry, I don't know why I called it Annihilator, because it says it on the back. Look. Again, this finds Jeff basically writing and recording and performing the entire album on his own. And again, it's not bad. There's some good stuff on here. He's experimenting with melody and things like that. And we have electronic drums, which are still not very good in 1997 either, but there we go. I quite like Sexecution, Human Remains, and I think it's Tricks and Traps, the opening track. But generally, again, he's released better. To be fair, when he was in a much more stable situation and a better situation than what he is or was then. I struggled with the next section because quite a lot of these are really good. Sorry, I'm just going to grab. I put these in the wrong order as well. Well, pretty much all the rest of them are pretty good and very consistent. There's one thing Annihilator are, is pretty consistent. So it just boils down to whichever one's my favourite, really, which generally tends to be the one with the most catchy songs or stuff like that. What I will say is the next one I am putting is his 2019 album. I'm sure this came out this year. Oh, anyway, Ballistic Sadistic. The songs are actually really good. I really like it, but the production is terrible. It's got so much compression on it, it's unbelievable. There's just no room for anything. And it's actually really fatiguing to listen to because there's just no space anywhere, which is a shame because the actual songs are really good and the running time of it is only 40 something minutes, but it's just so like, I mean, I could do that for 40 minutes and that's kind of what the album feels like. But if you listen to each song individually on its own, it's not so bad, but you have to take it as an album because that's what we're doing, album rankings, not song rankings. And as an album, it's let down by atrocious production. It's really bad. It's basically just the guitars up front, everything else behind it and squashed in, and it's just not good, which is a shame because the songs are really good. So there we go. Unfortunately, the newest album is not going to be listened to all that much, even though the songs are really good. I'm hoping one day they do a remaster of it. That'd be nice. Next up we have Suicide Society. This has got much better production. I quite like this actually because he's trying new things again, which is cool. There's kind of a sort of a poppy, funky feel to some of the songs on this one, which is kind of interesting for a thrash metal band. But I also quite enjoy it. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit. There we go. Just because it's kind of fun, but it also kind of makes the album a little bit disjointed. But at least the production doesn't suck. So yeah, it's good. I like it. And next we have Feast, which is kind of a return to out and out thrash metal. It's a bit more thrash metal-y than some of the ones that came before it, although I actually like them more, but that's just because. It's got a great front cover as well of some zombie person eating a heart, which is cool. Next we have Schizo Deluxe, which was released in 2005. This has got some really classy songs on it, like Plasma Zombies. Jeff Waters is always one for a bit of humour, which I love. Something Witchy is good. It's good. It's got a little bit of a more melodic edge to it than like out and out thrash metal, which is quite nice. And Jeff Waters produced and engineered it, which is cool. It's pretty good. I like it. But as always, there is some other ones that are better. Next we have Annihilator Metal. This is pretty cool because it has loads of guests in it, guest guitarists and all sorts, and it kind of feels this is the sort of first album he did in a while that kind of felt like a really full-on sort of return to really like head-banging thrash metal after a couple of albums that were a little bit more not relaxed, but just a little bit less, kind of more like metal, groove metal-y stuff. This kind of is filled with wild guitar solos and things like that. It's really cool. It's kind of fun. Next we have Annihilator. This is quite a dark album, as the cover suggests. I can't remember if this is one of the ones with I can't remember his name. The other vocalist that was with the band for like 10 years. I can't remember his name, but I really like him anyway. It's really good. I think this is the album he left on or something. But it's darker, a bit heavier, and it's also got a really scary album cover, which scares me. Next we have their second album, Never Neverland. Some people are probably wondering why it's placed so low. And the simple answer really is that I just like some of the other ones more. It's got some great songs in it. Welcome to the Fun Palace. And it's got that song called Craft in it. Again, Jeff Waters really likes humour. But I don't know. I just always preferred some of their other ones. Basically is what it comes down to. Not that it's a bad one, it's just not my favourite, basically. Next we have For the Demented. This is really cool. And believe it or not, actually contains electronic drums for the most part, I think, anyway. Sure it does. Possibly. I'm sure it's electronic drums. I'm not sure. It's a pretty good album and one of the newer ones. I didn't get it straight away. I actually got it this year as well. But I have to say it's really, really good. It's very sort of thing. So, yeah. Next we have Waking the Fury. This kind of sees the band taking on that groove metal thing, and also sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, like radio hard rock type stuff as well. It's a little bit mishmashy. I actually just realised this should have been like before about 4 of the other albums, but never mind. It's still pretty good, and it's one of only 2 albums with Joe, what's his face in it? I've forgotten his name. I forget everybody's names. Joe Como or something. Anyway, blah. Next we have Criteria for a Black Widow. This was the album where the original lineup reunited. I think everyone but the bass player came back, and you can tell it's actually a really strong release. It was released in 1999. This was after the 2 albums where they were kind of disastrous in comparison, but they're not that bad. They're just the weakest of with the electronic drums, and he had to do everything. He managed to get the whole band but the bassist back together. I think it's the bassist anyway, and whip out this romping, stomping good, and it is a really good album. But again, they've released so many that it's not actually that high in my list. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. These are the much more difficult to rank ones. Again, I messed up, and Waking the Fury should have gone like after Ballistic Sadistic, but never mind. It's all good. I've just told you, so now you know. Next we have King of the Kill. It's got a great opening track. It's a little bit weaker sort of after that, and nothing else quite lives up to that first track, but 21's pretty good. Bliss is pretty good. Seconds 9 is pretty good, and yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's got a more groove metal-y thing because it was released in 1994, but then the rest of the band quit or left or got fired or just weren't there anymore, which is a shame. Next we have All For You. This is definitely a melodic groove metal album rather than a thrash metal album. There's quite a lot of melody. Jeff Waters has always stated that he likes melody, which is funny because I like melody too. It's also got quite a lot of humour, particularly on Demon Dance. Dance! Which is great. Dance! All For You is a great opening track. It's a little bit mid-paced, but it's really good. Dr. Psycho is one of my favourite songs by the band ever. Demon Dance is really good. The One is pretty good. And then it kind of trails off a little bit, but it's all, you know, it's good. It's a good, solid album, but nothing quite lives up to the first sort of 3 or 4 songs. Next, we have Carnival Diablo. Yes, Carnival Diablo. This is really good. I don't know what kind of music you'd call this. I mean, it's obviously metal, but it's somewhere in between thrash metal and groove metal and industrial metal and sort of melodic-y stuff too. But there's some really good guitaring on this. The opening track is phenomenal. I remember when I got this album in a 2-pack with Waking the Fury, and it blew my mind away. It's so good. I was like, wow, that's so good. And I put it on repeat and listened to the first song, Denied, like 900 times. It's just great. I love it. It's just great. And then you've got other songs like Carnival Diablo, the title track, which is like a melodic sort of dark thing. It's so good. It really is. There's definitely a bit of a Rush influence in there as well. I know that's weird, but there definitely is. Right, the last 2 we have Set the World on Fire, their 1993 album. This is a special edition. It's number 1052 of 2000 copies, which is cool. I think they're actually gold CDs, which is really cool. But I can't remember. They look gold, which is wicked cool. Gold CDs. Anyway, back to the album. This is the band taking on a sort of parts of it remind me of things like Guns N' Roses, and other parts remind me of Dream Theater. Other parts remind me of Megadeth, and basically it's all over the place. But like every single song is really, really catchy. You got Set the World on Fire, like that, which is great. No Zone, which I can't remember, but then Bats in the Belfry. The Bats in the Belfry. And Snake in the Grass, Reptile, you were a snake in the grass. Phoenix Rising is a good little ballad. Night Jumps Queen, if you know what I mean. And then you got Brain Dance, which is such a good song and funny as well. I love it. Definitely one of my favourite albums by the band. Just not sure why there's a weird mark on the disc. Sorry, I'm going to have a look. I think it's a fingerprint. Yes, look at that gold goodness. Gold. It's also really clean because I never ever use it. Anyway, and obviously that means the last album is Alice in Hell. I mean, it couldn't really be any other album really. This is thrash metal, technical thrash metal goodness. It's so good. It's beautiful. Mwah. Everything about it is epic. It's funny. It's got Jeff Waters. Jeff Waters is an amazingly underrated guitar player, and he's a pretty good vocalist as well when he has to be. But yeah, Alice in Hell, WTYD, which I can't remember what it stands for. Welcome to Your Death. That's what it stands for. Wicked Mystic, Burns Like a Star Blade, Word Salad, and just yeah, oh, it's so good. If you're going to buy any Annihilator album, buy this one first. And there we go. That is my ranking. Sorry for the big mess up that I didn't notice, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I have lots more stuff coming out, including more rankings for Marilyn Manson and Static X and Bullet for My Valentine, Trivium, all sorts of stuff. And I also have my big project coming up, which will require me to do a video every single day for 1001 days. Sorry, I hiccuped. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy my videos, and sorry, I hiccuped again. And I shall see you soon. Goodbye.